Well, hey kids, welcome back for another exciting season 7 of KWJUDAS on Free Radio Provo.
She's an elf in the woods, and she's magic. If she turns me away, it'd be tragic. Really like her pointy ears. I feel like I've known her for years. She's an elf in the woods, I discovered. She's an elf, now I think I'm gonna love her. I know she lives inside a tree. That's really okay with me. I'm so intrigued. I never knew she exists. Yeah, it's true. My life was bad, but now it's cool. 'Cause I know what I gotta do. Yeah, she's an elf in the woods, and she's magic. If she spurns my advance, it'd be tragic. I really like her pointy ears. I feel like I've known her for years. She's an elf, pretty as Princess Zelda. I'm Quasimodo, she's Esmeralda. I know she lives inside a tree. That's really okay with me. She's my elf. She's my elf girlfriend. She's my elf. She's my elf girlfriend. She's my elf. She's my elf girlfriend.
Oh my God, we got Brian Bielanski here on KWJUDAS, folks. He has traveled from afar. Where afar did you travel from?
Well, hey there, Judas. Thanks for having me on the show here at Free Radio Provo. It's a pleasure to be here. I am all the way hailing from Charlotte, North Carolina. I am on the middle of my coast-to-coast U.S. tour, and it's my first time performing in Utah. So it's great to be here in Utah. Thank you for having me.
I hope it really is.
It really is, honestly. Oh, I am the most sincere person you'll meet.
That seemed sincere. How
Cool.
long have you been in Utah, though?
A few hours.
Yeah, see, you've only been here a couple hours. It's real easy to observe our majestic mountains. And, well, you saw the roller coaster on the way here, right? Yeah.
No, because there was that. I got detoured through because of the chemical spill. So I don't.
Yeah,
I
the
missed
chemical spills always kind of detour you from the fucking roller coasters around here. That's always the thing about Utah. You know, I remember just last week coming back into Utah, you just get reminded all the fun things. And when you said chemical spill on your way in, I'm like, yep. Welcome to Utah, fucker.
Well, I hope everyone's okay from that. I mean, I the phone was going off and stuff with the emergency broadcast ringing. Yeah. So
it was a real deal. Did you get to see it?
No. The cops were on I-80 directing everybody like back to U-turn through the little spot that's usually for cops doing the speed traps,
right.
and sent me back. So I actually got to see quite a bit of the countryside on some of the smaller state roads on the way up here. But like I said, I do hope nobody was hurt by the chemical spill for sure.
Yes, but the upside is you got the more scenic route. So it's a good thing we had a chemical spill there. Life's full of happy little mistakes, isn't it?
Indeed it is. I concur 100% on that.
And we don't know if anyone died, so it's still happy.
Well, I certainly hope no one did not, for sure.
Where was that chemical spill?
That was on exit 150 in Tollgate, I think was the name of the city.
All right.
And they said the people in the city should shelter in place.
Well, all of our listeners in Tollgate, if anyone did die, please drop a comment below. We're sorry for the insensitive comments. So, Brian Bielanski, how about another tune?
Oh, sure, absolutely. I'd love to play another tune. Let's see here.
What was the name of that last one?
So that one was called Elf Girlfriend.
Oh, was it about a real person?
Actually, no, it wasn't. And people ask that a lot. They're like, "Is
so
that
much?"
They ask if it's about like a short girl, and no, actually, it's about my experiences when I lived in the woods for 2 months when COVID shut down the world, and my 11-month tour that year got closed down. I spent a lot of time in the woods and was doing a lot of research in the national forests about how there's been a lot of sightings of supernatural creatures.
Oh man, we might get sidetracked for the rest of the show. I've actually been geeking out on that in the last couple weeks. Even a lot of the cryptids and shit.
Yeah,
and,
exactly.
I just got back from Oregon, and they take that shit way more seriously than they do down here, man. Like the
Indeed.
Bigfoot is. There's no question that Bigfoot exists up there.
Right. Well, what I've heard too is that a lot of Bigfoot sightings, what they actually are feral humans, like babies that were abandoned by their parents, sadly, and that they just grew up and somehow managed to survive in the wild, and that they are just feral humans. And since they were not brought up in society, they can't speak a language, and they've never been taught to shave, so it's why they're all hairy. And that's just one theory about the Bigfoots. I guess one of the more rational or logical. I'm sorry, radio. People can't see me doing the quotations with my fingers.
You're
there.
good. That's the fun thing about being on radio is they can't see anything we're doing. We're actually sword fighting right now. What kind of sword fighting? You don't know because you can't see us.
Yeah, totally. But yeah, no. So that's living in the woods. I got really into I was kind of hoping to have seen some supernatural sightings. I did not that particular time in the woods.
So what woods are we talking? This is in North Carolina?
Oh, no. I was on tour when the world shut down in 2020.
You're in the middle of tour.
In the middle of tour. I was in...
And the world shuts down.
Yeah, in Arizona.
And you just stayed put.
Well, because back then, at the very beginning, no one was sure exactly when everything was going to open up. So, I was losing my gigs 1 week at a time. I'd call places
That's crazy.
It was, it was crazy. So I just
how long did you post up?
2 months.
Jesus.
Yeah, so I was literally, and I'm the kind of guy that drives around with cases of canned food and toilet paper, so and water. So I was good to go the whole 2 months.
Stayed in Arizona
and New Mexico. I bopped around a little bit. New Mexico and Arizona. Yeah.
That's awesome, and that's
you.
shitty, and that's awesome.
it was,
sucks that you had to do that, but that's really cool that you were able to.
Well, no doubt. It was sad to lose. I mean, because obviously I spent all of 2019 planning the tour in 2020.
A lot of work gone to waste, I'd imagine.
But I just tried to make the most of it. I made a lot of videos, and I just, I hiked a lot. I'm a Tai Chi student, so and I did a lot of Tai Chi out in the nature, which is supposed to be the best place to do that, practice the martial art.
Yeah, that's what you'd imagine, right?
Yeah. It's supposed to, harness the power of the earth and everything.
But at the same time, doing it right in the middle of a big, huge city with traffic ongoing and everything. Wouldn't you think that'd be a little bit better because it proves how good you are at tuning all that out?
Well, there you go, and that's actually a very good point too.
I don't know.
I guess no, for real. And I've had two Tai Chi teachers, and they both kind of said that just something about being in nature. You can now I'm sounding like a real big hippie.
You living in your van for the last 2 months didn't make you sound like a damn hippie.
well, I got
you weren't
you're right.
down by the river now, were you?
There was a stream. I was actually on a mountain, but because
it counts.
Yeah. No, on top of a mountain in New Mexico was where I spent most of the time in those 2 months, and there was a mountain stream, and that was the best tasting water I've ever drank in my whole life.
You could drink it and
straight
everything?
from the spring. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. So I think it's kind of a little bit not really ironic, but it is sort of funny that you're doing a bunch of shows where you're talking to people in you said homeless shelters or high schools and like rehabilitation, stuff like that, you literally can say that if you stay on this path, you'll wind up like me, living in a fucking van down by the river.
You know what?
You get to use that.
And it's true. And as a matter of fact, I think that'll be a perfect segue into the next song. It's called "Living in My Car." It's from Brian's Super Happy Fun Time 1. That was the one that came out in 2020. The predecessor to the brand new one, Brian's Super Happy Fun Time 2. And this is called "Living in My Car," and it is a true story because when you're crisscrossing the U.S., I'm not Bon Jovi or Bruce Springsteen, so I
You had me confused. I was like, is he Bon Jovi, Bruce Springsteen, or that other fucking guy? I don't know.
Yeah. But yeah. So, since I'm not pulling in the Bon Jovi money, it's called "Living in My Car." It's actually my truck, but there were not very many family-friendly words I could find to rhyme with truck, so I did take some artistic liberty and change it to car.
Think of a couple, but we're not trying to rewrite the lyrics right now.
All right.
"Living in My Car," Brian Bielanski, KWJUDAS Free Radio Provo. Thank you all for listening.
I want to tell you a secret, and I hope that you could keep it. I think you're the greatest girl that I know in the whole world. But I'm out the door. Here we are, me and my guitar. Everything's alright now, everything's alright now. Here we are, living in my car. Everything's alright now, everything's alright now. Here we are, playing at the bar. Everything's alright now, everything's alright now. Here we are, living in my car. Everything's alright now, everything's alright now. I want to tell you a story of the ones who fell from glory. It's hard to fall on your face, always coming in last place, 'cause you're out the door. Here we are, me and my guitar. Everything's alright now, everything's alright now. Here we are, living in my car. Everything's alright now, everything's alright now. Here we are, falling like a star. Everything's alright now, everything's alright now. Here we are, me and my guitar. Everything's alright now, everything's alright now. Everything's alright now, everything's alright now. Everything's alright now, here we are, me and my guitar. Everything's alright now, everything's alright now. Here we are, living in my car. Everything's alright now, everything's alright now. Here we are, shooting like a star. Everything's alright now, everything's alright now. Everything's alright now. Everything's alright now. Thank you very much.
We have Brian Bielanski on KWJUDAS Free Radio Provo. It's just me and him. Just hanging out.
Yeah.
Just a couple of dudes having a good time.
It's awesome, man. Thanks for the coffee, by the way.
Yeah, it's Highlander grog.
I really like coffee.
I am only drinking it because I'm not drinking booze right now.
Yeah.
Oh, and I like coffee. Coffee's good.
No, yeah, coffee is a good substitute for booze. Having been a former drinker myself, yeah, coffee's a good thing to replace booze with.
It works. You know. I'll drink kombucha, I guess.
Oh, yeah, kombucha's really good. Now, technically, kombucha is slightly alcoholic.
Almost makes you feel like you're still drinking.
Yeah, if you drink 20 of them, you might actually get a buzz.
Yeah, and that's not what I'm drinking it for.
Yeah, me neither.
I'm
it's for the
probiotic
gut health
benefit.
Yeah, 100%.
Not really. My guts always feel like shit.
Well, I my diet consists mostly of peanut butter with a spoon out of the jar, so I mean I can kind of empathize with that a little bit.
Yeah, you got to leave the spoon out. Spoons are not good for you. They're not nutritious.
Oh, I don't eat the spoon. I just use it as a utensil to scoop the peanut butter out, and then I take the peanut butter off the spoon. I don't actually eat the spoon, just to be clear. I mean...
Sorry, I'm not getting you. Want to play another song?
I'd be more than happy to, sure. And since we were talking about coffee, that's a great segue into the next song that's called Coffee Shop.
Wow, we're really nailing it here, huh?
We were on a roll, Judas.
Or are you just like making this shit up as you go? Like, oh, this next song happens to be about what we were just talking about again.
Well, with 13 albums, I guess there is a song for every conversation we're going to have.
Okay, we're going to have to... That sounds like a challenge to me. We're going to have to talk about some weird shit in the next little bit here.
You know what? I am pretty confident in my discography. I think no matter what conversation topic we're going to be on, I'll have a song to play after it.
All right. Well, what's the name of this next one then?
So this next one is called Coffee Shop. It's also from Brian's Super Happy Fun Time one. And when you're on tour, sometimes I do wind up playing a lot of coffee shops. And I wrote a song about it called Coffee Shop.
All right, Coffee Shop. Brian Bielanski. KWJUDAS. Free Radio Provo.
Let's reach for the stars. Climb the highest mountains. Let's go chase our dreams. When we catch them, we are gonna catch them. They run away. Hey, hey, what do you wanna say? I'm gonna ride down at the coffee shop. I'm gonna ride down at the coffee shop. Turns out the new owner, he doesn't like rock and roll. He said he's gonna pass this time I roll through town, and I asked to play at his coffee shop. Well, that's a bummer, 'cause I don't know anywhere else to play for the next 200 miles. I'm gonna ride down at the coffee shop. I like mine black, thank you. Na 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 na. Na 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 na. Na 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 na. Na 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 na. We gonna ride down at the coffee shop. We gonna ride down at the coffee shop. The coffee shop. Coffee shop. Rocking down at the coffee shop. Thank you. Thank you very much.
Brian Bielanski on KWJUDAS, Free Radio Provo. I'm saying your last name correct, am I not?
Absolutely.
Sweet.
Thank you. Yeah, not that I might. When people get it wrong, I always love hearing all the different versions.
So a coffee shop.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, that's pretty easy. Lots of people write songs about coffee shops.
Do they really?
Everybody who goes to coffee shops. It's like how everyone who goes to bars writes songs about bars.
I honestly thought I was the first one. I can't think of any songs off the top of my head about coffee shops.
Well, I'm just trying to think of something you might not have a song about. You talked about how about you talked about supernatural shit in the woods.
Yeah.
For one, did you actually see anything out there? And two, do you have any songs about it?
Not when I was in the woods in 2020. I have had supernatural sightings in the past, but it was way in the past when I was a teenager, and it was in North Carolina.
We don't want to talk about that.
No, okay.
It's in the past.
Yeah, no, nothing recently. And
I was saying that like we can't. Sorry, I worded that wrong. We can talk about it.
Oh, excellent.
Oh, that's up to you. I mean, I don't want to pry into your past.
Oh, no. I mean, man, I am here. I like to talk about anything at all. I mean, if you, and honestly, the supernatural entities are a great point of interest for me. And
I love talking about that shit.
Oh, me too.
We do it all October. We have a Halloween series where the guest is invited to do exactly that.
Cool.
So, unfortunately, you weren't rolling through during the Halloween series, but we always love a good ghost story or a good supernatural or paranormal experience. So, if you feel comfortable sharing, we are all ears here on KWJUDAS.
Well, yeah, actually, why not? So back home in North Carolina, well, actually, it's right across the border in South Carolina. Actually, there was a bridge called Catwoman's Bridge.
Okay. About what year was this?
This was the 90s. This would have been like 1993, 1994.
Ah, word. So we're going way back.
Oh, yeah. We would all go down there to, party and, go down there with my girlfriend and, kiss and stuff. And and because the bridge was supposedly haunted, it was haunted by a cat lady who supposedly, a crazy cat lady who, I guess she died on the bridge. I'm not sure if it was foul play or self-inflicted, but it was also a hot spot for back in the early 90s. I don't know if you remember the what was that called, the satanic scare, when
there was a lot of that going on.
So there were we would see remnants of some people that did that kind of stuff there at the bridge, I guess because it was supposedly like a kind of nexus of some bad energy down there. And and it wasn't right at the bridge, but walking down that creek that I had that paranormal experience where I actually saw something weird. And it was me and my friend, and we were going on an extended hike, and we were far down the creek and several hours away from any kind of civilization, and we just saw a baby doll, and an animated baby doll.
An animated baby doll.
Yeah, like
how do you mean?
The creepy little baby dolls that you see in horror movies. It didn't move. But it moved it didn't move its arms or legs, but it moved its head and opened its eyes and looked at us.
And it was just sitting out in the middle of the woods?
In the middle of the woods, hours. We had to hike for hours to get back to civilization, my friend and I. So we stopped and looked down at it to stare at it. And when it started...
So you're right above this thing.
It's
literally laying on the ground.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I'm stooped over, bending down to look at it. And once it opened its eyes, my friend who was there with me freaked out. He started screaming and crying and he was like, "Oh my God, it's looking at us!" And he ran. I, on the other hand, was intrigued. I wasn't scared of it. And I actually, later on, I told my dad about it, and what he thought it was, with the history of the Native American history, he seemed to think that it was probably a discorporated spirit of perhaps a Native American youth who came to a very bad end, who got stuck here. That's what he thought. But there we go. Now I gone from sounding like a hippie to sounding like a nut, huh?
I think that's okay here on KWJUDAS.
Cool.
We've got all sorts of hippie nuts here.
All right, great.
Hippie nuts.
And there's a song about that too. Not the
You're gonna use that as your segue into the next song.
yeah.
You got plenty of songs about hippie nuts, I bet.
Yeah, right. That was poorly
God
timed on
damn
my
it.
part. It was actually about the supernatural experience, but
You got a supernatural song?
yeah, another one. I mean, the one about the elf girlfriend, and this one's actually called Catwoman's Bridge, named after the bridge and the.
God damn it! I still have yet to stump this guy.
But keep trying. I like
All right,
the challenge,
all right.
and I'm not arrogant about it. I think you may very well be able to stump me. It's possible. I don't want to be like one of those arrogant types that think I'm undefeatable or invincible in that regard.
Okay, what's the name of this one?
Well, this one's called
Catwoman's Bridge?
Catwoman's Bridge, and this is all the way from my very first album with my old band back in the 90s. This came out in 1999.
God damn, folks. You are privileged to be here with us on KWJUDAS, Free Radio Provo.
On the road with the homes for the poor and the old. The grass is green underneath Catwoman's Bridge. Maybe we'll see her late at night. That would make for a scary sight. Wild dogs roaming the night. Wild dogs combing the night. I feel so bad. 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 I feel so bad about you. Bad about you. 'Cause now I see you getting scared. That's when I pretend I care. I can see the lustful stare. I could give a lustful glare. I can feel you in the air. I can feel you in the chair. Wild dogs roaming the night. Wild dogs combing the night. I feel so bad. 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 I feel so bad about you. Bad about you. Bad about you. Bad about you. Thank you. Thank you very much.
KWJUDAS, Free Radio Provo. Brian Bielanski. You said this is what, your 46th state?
Oh yeah, I am so stoked. It's I'm very enthusiastic about getting to come to Utah for the first time. I was supposed to perform in Utah on that 2020 tour, and so it's great to finally get to state number 46 on my list.
So what's left?
Maine, Rhode Island, Hawaii, and Alaska. Just those 4 states.
Are you going to be seeing them on this this time around, this tour of yours?
Not sure exactly. I no longer do my own booking, so I'm never 100% sure where I'm going until the dates show up on my calendar. But I'd like to think so. I've expressed an interest, definitely. I mean, it's no secret that I want to perform in all 50 states, and I'd love to hit most of the countries too. I'm up to 19 on the countries.
Really?
So I'd definitely like to get some more of those under my belt. Maybe even within the next few years. Who knows?
Hell yeah. Obviously, just within the states, Hawaii and Alaska are going to be a little, difficult.
Well,
But-
I have a cousin who lives in Hawaii, and I know she has a wedding planned, so I was kind of trying to plan a little Hawaii mini tour, maybe, whenever she decides to get married. So maybe,
nudge, nudge, wink, wink.
I mean, who knows when that'll be, but yeah, and love my cousin. She's really close with my cousin there, and she's a lawyer, and I'm really proud of her, and really excited for that wedding, and also so I can shove in a Hawaii mini tour whenever that happens.
Yeah, and lots of good food, man.
Oh yeah.
I've partied with some Hawaiians. I've had some Hawaiian neighbors.
Oh.
Those guys know how to party.
Oh,
That is for sure.
Well, besides the lawyer cousin, I actually had another cousin.
Great food.
I had another cousin who lived in Hawaii. He was actually homeless in Hawaii. He lived off coconuts. He had a native friend that taught him how to like scurry up the coconut trees, and he literally just lived on the beaches eating coconuts during the 70s.
Word.
Mm-hmm.
That'd be cool too.
I did.
Now Alaska, on the other hand, I've always wanted to go up there.
Me
it's
too.
like, where do you play a show in Alaska, though?
Well, from what I see, they have quite a few venues there. I don't think that's outside the realm of possibility. Anchorage, is a pretty.
Yeah, they got to have some coffee shops or a bar or two, something.
Yeah,
that at least has a place where a dude with an acoustic guitar can plug in.
Yeah, no doubt. Or I've even performed some spots without plugging in. I did a dentist office waiting room in Mexico.
I have played some random places.
Yeah.
But, okay, did you do it just because you felt like it, or were you actually scheduled to do this?
I had dental work scheduled because for those who don't know, as a musician, you don't have insurance. Like if you're a normal person with a normal job.
Word.
And in my 20s, I didn't have the greatest dental hygiene, so I had to pay for that in my 30s. Luckily, I did some research and found out that there were some very cheap places to get dental work done in Mexico. And since I was actually on tour at the time, going through Arizona, I asked if I could perform in the waiting room for the other patients that were waiting to get their dental work done before I got my own done. So
did they give you a discount?
Yeah, actually they did.
For playing?
Mm-hmm.
Dude,
yeah,
that's awesome.
Yeah, it was a real good experience, and it was
Hell
really good.
yeah.
It cost about 10% of the work that would have gotten if I'd had the work done here in the United States.
Plus the musician's discount.
Mm-hmm.
That's pretty badass.
Thank you.
You're probably not going to get an offer like that around here, folks. So you've been to Mexico. What other countries have you been in?
Oh wow! So Canada, Costa Rica.
And these are countries you have
performed in. Yeah.
Right.
There's not a country that I've been in that I haven't performed, and
that's the way to be.
Well, yeah, and that's kind of where it dictates where I go. Yeah. So let's see. On this North America, it's like Canada, Mexico, Costa Rica. Then Europe, it's hard to remember all the Europe ones. The UK, Belgium, France, Netherlands, Luxembourg, Austria, Italy, Greece, Hungary, Poland, Russia. Am I forgetting any? I think is that all of them? Luxembourg, did I say that? Yeah. And then in
Nice.
Asia, China, and Thailand.
Hell yeah.
Thank you.
You've got quite the list there, I'd have to say.
Thank you.
I don't even know if I've been inside the country, unless it was against my will and I was unconscious and I was in the back of somebody's car.
Well, that could happen. Well, I'm glad you made it out of that situation okay,
Or
Judas.
perhaps abducted, you never know, the other way.
Well, that's always a concern, and being a solo traveler on the road, yeah, you definitely have to keep your eyes and your ears open because, it can be a dangerous place if you're not aware of your surroundings.
And that's another thing that we could probably get into after another song is I'm sure you've got some fun stories on the road.
Oh, no doubt. Yeah, tons of fun stories.
But let's have another song first.
Okay. Well, this one is it's called Go, Go, Go. And this was recorded on my 2014 world tour in Frankfurt, Germany. It's from my album Fearless Corporate Rock Killers and with my old band. And yeah.
What was the old band?
The old band was called Anguish.
Anguish.
Yep. Although this particular album, Fearless Corporate Rock Killers, was more like me playing all the instruments. I had like different instrumentalists and different tracks.
Word.
But so it was more like a solo album, and it was probably the poppiest of all the Anguish albums. So I wind up playing a lot of those songs now that I'm a solo artist, and this is one of them called Go, Go, Go.
All right. Brian Bielanski on KWJUDAS Free Radio Provo.
New York City, Wilmington, Asheville, Johnson City, Memphis, and Nashville. Down Florida, over Jaws, and I got scared and decided to cross. Got a right, drop me off at the plane. Bye bye, America, I'll see you again. Go, go, go. Gotta get to the show now, baby. Go, go, go. Gotta get to the show. Thank you. Thanks, Judas.
It's Brian Bielanski here on KWJUDAS Free Radio Provo, and we have a little over 20. We got about 23 minutes left.
That's it?
I know,
Dude, time
right?
flies when you're having fun.
Yeah, it's all that paranormal superstition talk, you know?
Yeah.
Like
you're
I
right.
said, we could talk about that for fucking days.
No
But
doubt, no doubt.
what's some of the crazier shit that you may have encountered while on tour?
And it's the stuff you never expect to happen, man. It's like sometimes it gets to be like an Indiana Jones movie. I actually got chased down a mountain, camping in a national forest because, once again, a lot of to save money, I'll do things like sleep in the vehicle. There was a particular tour. It was actually my maiden full-time tour in 2012, and I was in. That was when I was still playing with a band. We were at a national forest, and some of the people there that were like, permanent residents, like they lived in the forest, period, accused us of stealing their firewood.
Lived in the forest like they didn't have a house, or they had houses?
Oh
in the forest?
no, like little people with little RVs, campers and trucks and stuff. So they lived inside their campers, not like completely lived in the forest.
Right,
to
like
be
tree
more
people.
Yeah, right, like the feral humans we were talking about.
Word.
So we were accused of stealing firewood when actually it was another guy who came up. Some lady was burning a fire in the middle of the day, and he walked up. He's like, "Why is she burning this fire in the day? We need this for the nighttime when we need it for heat." So he picked up all our wood and threw it off the cliff. And when the lady came,
her wood?
yeah, she had all this wood in a pile. This other guy walks up, pushes all the wood off the cliff, and then walks away. So then, we're camped out. We've got our tent there. She comes back. She's like, What did you do with my wood? And I was like, well, we didn't do anything with your wood, ma'am. We're a band. We're staying here because we can't afford a hotel. And she got on the phone and was like, Danny, you got to get up here. They boys stole our wood. So
what the fuck?
So I'm telling, my bandmates did not quite realize the danger we were in. And they're just kind of standing there like, duh. I was like, dude, get the tent put up. We got to get out of here now. And as we were driving down, somebody started chasing us in their vehicle. And we were driving down these windy mountain dirt roads.
God damn.
Just like an Indiana Jones. It was just like the Indiana Jones truck scene. It was scary as hell.
So what happened?
I outran them.
You finally lost them.
Oh, yeah. Well, mm-hmm.
God damn.
Yeah, that was with the old van too. That was oh boy. Yeah, that was that. Yeah, that was probably one of the scariest things. There's been some other ones, but that one it was kind of the most exciting, the most like movie, like something out of a movie kind of experience.
Like you have some fucking banjo rambling going on in the background as you're all fucking.
You know that movie actually was shot in North Carolina. Yeah.
Yeah, figures.
Mm-hmm. Good
so
movie.
That was in your own hometown?
No, the where I got chased.
In North Carolina?
No, where I got chased, that was California.
Oh.
That was northern.
That was in California, huh?
Yeah, and like actually one of the last places I would have expected that to happen, but yeah, Northern California. It was a national forest up in Northern California.
Yeah, I don't know. I've never been up that far.
Mm-hmm.
But I do hear that you don't really fuck around with the wilderness folk out there.
I learned that, and you know, that being my maiden tour, I didn't have a lot of the good sense I have now to like look out to like avoid those kinds of situations rather than try to like, you know, we just pull up and just pull out our tent, which was, you know, looking back, hindsight, was not the wisest thing for us to do because those people were really territorial about, you know, obviously
I would be.
The whole like firewood being a commodity thing. It was definitely it was an interesting experience.
Yeah, that is pretty weird that she was already there, and whoever else it was obviously had been there longer than her.
They didn't like each other, that was for sure, and we got blamed for him, you know, getting rid of her firewood. That was how the whole thing. And then Danny, I guess the person that was on the phone when she was like, "Danny, come get these boys." So
he was the one chasing.
He was the one. I assume he was the one in the vehicle that was chasing her.
That is pretty freaky.
Yeah, it was something else. And those are the kinds of things you never expect to happen when you're planning a rock and roll tour.
All right, so now you have to play a song that has to do with that.
You stumped me, man. I don't you got me.
I thought for sure you'd have something.
Well, now I know what
you don't have any songs about getting chased by I don't know, anybody in a pickup truck trying to kill you.
I don't, man. Dude, all right, so
and you've had that happen in your life.
This is the purpose for me coming to appear on Free Radio Provo, because now I got something for Brian's Super Happy Fun Time 3, whenever that may come out.
If you come back through Utah, you got to hit me up.
Absolutely.
And I want to hear that fucking song.
Oh, yeah, I will have the song about getting chased by the guy in the truck, Danny.
Oh, yeah.
Danny in the truck. He was chasing me.
I'm thinking of making a compilation of, like, KWJUDAS exclusives, because we actually do run into that scenario quite often where...
People getting chased?
No. Oh. Well, not as often as you would think, but I was referring to a different... Where, where somebody plays a song that maybe they've never played before, or that something on the show calls for them to make up something on the spot.
Oh.
It's like, man, we should make a compilation of, like, KWJUDAS exclusives. And if you do that, yeah, it's going on the comp.
Oh, well, you know what? I am definitely going to write that song, and thank you for the idea. And you know what? I would like to play, although I'm not good at just writing songs on the spot, I do have a brand new song that I wrote a couple weeks ago.
All right.
That's not on any album. And, you know, typically I do like to play the songs like on the albums because it would be nice if people bought them. That's kind of the point of going on
tour. That's why
you
make them.
Yeah.
Not the only reason, but.
I mean, no, it's not. And it's not the only reason. I mean, you know, I'd be making music regardless if whether or not I was making money or not. I'd still be making the music. But yeah, this is a brand new song, not on anything. So I figured, you know, since this is like a really cool, my first time in Utah, first time on Free Radio Provo, that I'd play this brand new song for the first time on the radio.
All right, are you Brian Bielanski Kateers? This is an exclusive, first time ever, KWJUDAS.
I like kissing you now, baby. I know you like the way I do. I like kissing you now, baby. I think that you like it too. I've got such a big crush, I just can't finesse. I wanna be your boyfriend, baby. Treat you like a princess. I think you're really cool and oh so beautiful. I like kissing you now, baby. I think that you like it too. I like touching you now, baby. I know you like the way I do. day I met you, I think about you every day. I know one day I'm gonna get you and everything will be okay. The way you make me feel, it's gotta be real. I like kissing you now, baby, know that you like it too. I like touching you now, baby, know you like the way I do. If you fell in love with me, you could run away with me. You could see the world with me, share my adventures with me. Love the way you give me little kisses, baby, you're the only one. I know one day I'm gonna get you and we're gonna have so much fun. The way you make me feel, it's gotta be real. I like kissing you now, baby. I like kissing you now, baby. I like kissing you now, baby. I like kissing you, oh baby, I do. Thank you. Thanks, Judas.
Did you hear that? Brian Bielanski Katiers? It was the first ever. What was the name of that song?
I like kissing you.
Well, I'll have to talk to you a little more after the show then. But what was the name of that song?
Yeah, I like kissing you is the name of the song.
Oh, fuck. Well, you just kind of made me blush there for a sec.
Oh,
But hey, I came up with a new cool name for your fans.
you sure did, man. You really did. Brian Bielanski Tears. I love that.
Oh,
Dude, that's
so fucking terrible.
Are you kidding me? That's gold. Well, because right now
Brian Bielanski Tears.
I'm gonna change that because right now it is called on the exclusive content page of the website. It's called Brian's Super Happy Fun Empire.
Awesome.
So I think
pretty
Bielanski
super.
Tears sounds way more fun.
It is pretty fun.
Yeah,
I dig it. I'd be a
totally.
Bielanski-teer.
Dude, I'm changing that
Can
on
I be
the
the
website
first member
tonight.
of the Bielanski-teers?
Man, you know what? We'll have to discuss that after the show for sure because there's a lot of exclusive content on there that was deemed unsuitable for human consumption. So
I'm unsuitable for human consumption.
all the bad stuff, like the naughty stuff's on there, like the fun.
Yeah, we'll get along great.
Yeah. Oh, there's a lot of interesting stuff on the exclusive content.
Did you hear that, Bielanski-teers? A lot of exclusive content. If you want me to, I can do ads for you.
Man, I would love. I mean,
all
you
you
already
Bielanski-teers out there.
Bielanski Tears. I mean, I love that. That's great.
That's hilarious. Have you ever heard of the band Super Happy Storytime Land?
Is there seriously a band called that?
Mm-hmm. They're fucking death metal. They're DMAF.
Oh, neat.
Yeah, neat is yes, they are neat. They're you know you know how death metal logos you can never read them.
Yeah.
You know they're all just like really crazy, distorted, scattered about. It's one of those, but it's pink, and so you're sitting there like, what does that say? And after a minute, you can read it. It says Super Happy Storytime Land, and they actually have a new twist. Instead of death metal, they actually call it life metal. It's still the same structure, still the same sound, still the same just, kind of like guttural vocals. But all the lyrics are about rainbows and unicorns and birthday cakes.
Oh, that's awesome. See, and that's what I'd like. Yeah, that's the kind of lyrical content I want to, because I'm Brian's Super Happy Fun Time. There's a lot of still like songs. I think I have some room for improvement. I think I need more rainbows and unicorns in the new songs.
Well, real quick, before we get into the next song, you were kind of explaining why you decided on that name.
Oh, the Super Happy Fun Time?
If you wouldn't mind sharing that with us. I thought that was pretty good.
Absolutely, thanks. Well, the old band was called Anguish, the old punk band. So I just figured, when you're on the road, sometimes you get thrown into a lot of challenging situations.
Right.
So I decided to name myself Brian's Super Happy Fun Time to remind myself that, what I'm doing on the road, that some people, dream about it and to just always remember to have a positive attitude and be able to, handle these situations all in the correct way, because you do get a lot of from time to time some negative folks, hecklers, all kinds of things. And in the old days, in the anguish days, I would just like straight up heckle them back. But you know what? Two wrongs don't make a right. So by naming myself Brian Super Happy Fun Time, I've corrected myself from that kind of behavior.
I like that. The way he put it is it helps him not be a dick.
that is what
I like that a little bit better, but I think that you worded it somewhat more eloquently that time.
That's what I said before the show, right? Yeah. I think I think the official word was prick, though.
There you go.
Yeah.
There you go.
Yeah.
So at least you're a little less of a prick now, and whatever you got to do.
Well, I didn't really think I was a prick before, but maybe the negative people might have perceived me as such, and I had a problem
They bring the prick out of you sometimes.
Well, the thing was with that is then it would get spun around to where it would look like those people that would instigate situations would spin it around where it looked like I was the crazy guy. So I finally, after years of trollers and going back to the MySpace days and the early days of Facebook, there was a lot of trolling going on when I started doing graduated from being a weekend warrior to being a full timer. A lot of the people that I knew that were in bands didn't like that. They didn't like that, and I got trolled and cyberbullied pretty bad. And my method back then was to just tell them where to get off at, to put a nice way on it. But now I'm like, you know what, dude, Brian, why bother? It's like that's sad.
Why gratify it even? With
right. I mean, and that's what those people want.
That's
what those kinds of people want. They just want to try to drag you down. So now I just know I either laugh at them or just kind of feel sorry for them because it still does happen sometimes. Not as bad now that I've been doing it full time for years. It's not as bad, but making that graduation from being a weekend warrior to full time was kind of rough. Competitors.
Yeah. I kind of like the way you put that, though.
Thank you.
So we are kind of running out of time, and we still got a word from our sponsor that we're going to have to get into.
Oh.
So let's have another song, and I'll see if I can check on our email and see if we've got our commercial from Derpinschlee.
All right, great. So the last song, huh?
We're not quite to the last, but we are, we're getting close to the end here.
All right.
So, yeah, let's have another tune.
Okay, here we go. So, man, you know what? I'm going to do one more from the Fearless Corporate Rock Killers album from 2014. That was a real fun one.
All right.
This is called Somebody Else's Girl. Thank you.
Hey, kid, are those tired bags under your eyes?
Yeah.
And what is that, your 7th pot of coffee?
Bleh, 12.
And I see you've soiled your jammies again.
Oh, I did?
Mm-hmm. You seem sleep-deprived, my small companion.
Oh, it's just the endless, ominous nightly Wendigo hunt I've been engaged in every night the last 2 months.
Oh, Lord knows I've been there, but never without Durbansley's Wendigo call earmuffs.
Well, what are these for?
Here, just put them on.
Oh, okay. I'll never sleep again! Oh, why?
Brought to you by Durbansley. And remember, if it doesn't say Durban, it's not Durbansley. All right, we have time for one more song here from Brian Bielanski. And before we get into it, let us not forget, how do we find you online? How do people find your music?
Oh, well, the best way for people to find my music, Judas, is to go to brianssuperhappyfuntime.com, and that is Brian with a Y, and that's 2 S's, brianssuperhappyfuntime.com. And from there, people can, there's all kinds of music. They can buy shirts, stickers, baseball cards, everything on the...
Baseball cards, folks. He gave me one. He actually has baseball cards.
Yep, and anything, and then all the other things that people like to listen to stuff on Spotify, YouTube, Apple Music. If it's out there, I'm on it, and you can find anything you want on brianssuperhappyfuntime.com.
All right, what's the name of this next tune here?
This is the lead single from the brand new album that I'm on tour for, Brian's Super Happy Fun Time 2, and it is called Get Better at Life. And thanks again, Judas, for having me on Free Radio Provo.
Yeah, we hope to have you back again with a song about Wendigos.
Oh, yeah.
Now.
Wendigos and the car chase.
At least one of the two.
I think I can probably pull off both of them, the car chase and the Wendigo song.
Maybe combine them into the same, like you're running from a Wendigo who's driving the truck. I don't know. You'll figure it out, I'm sure.
Indeed.
So hit us up if you are coming back through Utah, please.
Oh, I will. I had a great time, and I really appreciate it.
Hell yeah. All right, Brian Bielanski on KWJUDAS, Free Radio Provo. Thank you all for listening.
What should I do? What should I say when the good things in life go away? Circumstances, bad mistakes, I gotta come back, whatever it takes. Gotta get better, gotta get better in life. Gotta get better, gotta get better, gotta get better, gotta get better in life. 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 I've been down before, never this low. Could it get worse? I don't wanna know. A charmed life turned to a nightmare. Hollywood made your soul disappear. Gotta get better, gotta get better in life. Gotta get better, gotta get better, gotta get better, gotta get better in life. 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 Oh, gotta get better. Oh, gotta get better. Oh, gotta get better. Oh, gotta get better.
We'd like to thank you all for joining us on another exciting episode of KWJUDAS on Free Radio Provo. We now return you to your regular Free Radio programming. Well, that's a wrap, folks. Good night.